Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, guys, we are reacting to Colin Cowherd ranks his top 5 NBA MVP candidates. You guys, pause this video, go in the comment section below, and give me your top 5 NBA MVPs, because I want to see how your guys compare to mine, his, and you guys can see how yours compare to the comment sections, right? So I'm going to list off my 5, okay? So I'm going to say, first and foremost, when it comes to the MVP award, it's not always about like the best player, because if it was for the best player, that means LeBron probably would have won it like 10 to 15 times at this point in his NBA career, right, man? So to me, you know, the MVP award, it is a combination of being a good player, obviously, but also the story that goes along with him, man. You know, I always use the example, the season that Russell Westbrook won the MVP and averaged a triple-double. You know, Russell is still averaging near a triple-double, or he might be at a triple-double right now. I don't know what the exact stats are, and we don't even talk about it, right, man? So at the time, it was a good story. LeBron doesn't win every single season just because, like, you know, voters fatigue and stuff, right, man? So my 5 MVPs, I have them listed over here on my other monitor. Number 1, I have Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic not only is dominating the game of basketball, but also the story is that he's just like really like redefining how the center position is played in this new era of basketball, right, man? Like in a way that's never been played before. I mean, he's pretty much essentially making that old school rebounding interior defense type of center go extinct, right? Like you got to be able to have some sort of like ball handling skills, passing skills, shooting skills, all that stuff, man. You can no longer get by being an Andre Drummond. Number 2, I have Joel Embiid. Pretty much the same reason as Jokic. I just think Jokic has played more games this season. And plus, I actually feel like Jamal Murray being out and Jokic still dominating for the Nuggets actually kind of helps his case for the MVP award. So that's why I have that. Number 3, I have James Harden. Now, the story with James Harden is that, you know, he already has an MVP award. But at the same time, though, he went from, you know, this hero ball style of offense and like a defense, really, man, to really dominating on this new team of the Brooklyn Nets, but in a different way. Like, he's even better now, man. And it's just weird because, like, we don't, like, he doesn't put up like those hero numbers anymore, but he still dominates, and it's a beautiful thing to watch, man. So yeah, I have Harden in number 3. Number 4, I do have Steph Curry. I understand the Golden State Warriors record is not all that fantastic, but excuse me, Steph Curry, what he's doing as of late has been out of this world. Like, one of the greatest point guards, the greatest shooter of all time, playing literally his best basketball. He definitely has to be in there for the MVP. And then number 5, you know, maybe a bit of a shocker. This one is definitely more story than it is stats, but still really good stats too. And that is Julius Randle. I'm loving what he's doing for the New York Knicks, so I have him number 5 in the MVP voting. Some of the snubs I have, you know, guys that are dominating, but maybe so much don't really have the story to go along with it, or vice versa. You know, Damian Lillard, I recognize what he's doing, man. You know, a month ago, I would have had Damian over Steph Curry for MVP. Luka Doncic, you know, Giannis Antetokounmpo, voter fatigue right there. And then, like, CP3 really changed the landscape of the Suns, but at the same time, I don't really recognize him as, like, the MVP. He's a MVP, a most valuable player, but not the most valuable player. So let's see what Colin's got to say here and see if his are right, or, well, not really right or wrong. I mean, we all got opinions, right? I'm sure there's people already roasting me in the comment section, which is cool, man. You know, go for it, bro. Let's get it.
NBA MVP, we don't give valuable. We just go stats and stories. So I would give you my top 5 this morning, and
okay.
you're gonna not believe it, but again, it's called valuable. This is who I would give the MVP to.
Okay.
Number 5.
LeBron James. Hold on, you're gonna freak out.
No, I'm not gonna freak. I already see where he's going with it. Okay, and I will say I've had this take for a very long time, probably since I started YouTube, man. We need to rename the MVP award, bro, because it's no longer about value. It is kind of more about like talent and stuff, right? Or the most storied player. I don't really know, man. The MIP, the most interesting player. Best most improved players. That's already taken, man. So I get what he's saying right here. Or going to say.
41 games.
Yep.
He's going to come back and play the final 11 or 12. That'll give him 53 of 72 games. That is 3/4 of a season. Do the math.
Yep,
that's almost 75% of games. The Lakers have not beaten a team over 500 that's fully stocked since he left.
LeBron is
the Nets
good.
Without James Harden, and the Jazz without Gobert or Donovan Mitchell. They have plummeted defensively. They have plummeted offensively. They're the 27th best offense in the league without LeBron James.
Okay, I get that too, but also I mean, they don't have Anthony Davis either. So I mean, you know, what are the stats with LeBron without Anthony Davis? I think that's something to hear too.
The title last year. I don't care that he took 25% of the games off. not playing. They have plummeted as a franchise. They are a 500 team that can't beat good teams. But
it's also the reason why I have Jokic over Embiid is because I feel like at the same time, like yes, at this point we all recognize LeBron's greatness, but I also don't feel like you shouldn't get rewarded for what you didn't do. Like, we know what he could have done. I mean, we all know that. It's, it's assumptions and stuff like that. But that's why I have Jokic over Embiid, because Jokic has played more games. So I don't think Embiid, who can put up better stats than Jokic at times, I don't feel like he should get rewarded for the games that he didn't play in, thus having a better average at times than Jokic, if that makes sense.
In the NBA, there's so many bad ones they can stay at 500. LeBron's 5.
Number 4.
Steph Curry. He's going to have better numbers than when he won MVP.
I had Steph at 4. Okay.
It's a bad basketball team that is 1-7 when he doesn't play. When he does play, they have a winning record and will make it into the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, they were in the lottery last year. Top 2 pick.
Klay Thompson's out. Wiseman's now hurt. It's Kelly Oubre's talented, but Draymond's past his prime. It's not a very good team until he plays. And then his numbers this year are better than his MVP season he before.
Okay.
Number 3.
I'll say it again, Jimmy Butler. He is a 500-1.
I'm cool with Jimmy Butler being on this list, man. I ain't gonna lie. He probably actually should have been on my snubs list. No, I'm big on Jimmy Butler, guys. Yeah, I should have had him at least listed on my snub, so he got snubbed from my snub list. I totally recognize Jimmy Butler as number 3. That's completely fine with me. Yeah, he's big time for the Miami Heat. We all saw that at the beginning of the season up until now.
Shot to win it, Jimmy Butler. This is a young team, bordering sometimes on immature. Bam, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. He has to babysit some of these guys. They were early in the year when he got
I don't
COVID.
like Bam and Duncan are immature. Maybe Hero.
10 games a month.
I think he's just living his
they
best
were
life.
Atrocious defensively. Now they're top 5 in the league defensively. So, unlike a James Harden, you get everything on both ends of the floor. They're a bad basketball team, and that's with Eric Spoelstra, who's a Hall of Fame coach. They're 6-11 in the East.
Yeah, I'd be Hall of Fame coach too, bro, if I had damn LeBron, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh. I'm just joking. I know he was good before that.
He's got some LeBron qualities. Like,
he had young Wade.
He, on both ends of the floor, dramatically changes the effort and maturity of your team.
Number 2.
Nikola Jokic, Denver, bad body.
Jokic at 2, so who the hell is he going to have at number 1? It's got Harden, I guess? I have Jokic number 1, man.
I understand, but Jamal Murray, second best player, top 20 player in the league, he's out. They're 7-1 this year when Jamal Murray doesn't play. And again, after Jamal Murray, Michael Porter's a young kid. He's on pace to become the first player in the league history to average 25, 10, and 8 assists and shoot 55 from the field. But it's
sick.
Not a statistical award. He is the best passing big.
Disagree with that to some extent. It depends on the season. It depends on the story we're looking at. It totally was statistical driven with Russell Westbrook. 100% statistical driven.
Big man from Bill Walton. He gets so many players on this team, open looks and good looks, because you often have to double him. He's the classic value additive. He makes players better. Westbrook makes everybody worse.
Steve Nash
That's
effect.
why Jokic, to me, is valuable.
Jokic, not
Number
Westbrook.
1.
Chris Paul. Do you understand this?
Chris Paul at number 1, man. You know what? I ain't gonna hate on the Chris Paul number 1, bro. I ain't gonna hate on him, man. He's the only knockoff. Well, it's tough because clearly the OKC Thunder are not as good this season without Chris Paul. Although they did kind of like really just sell everything once Chris Paul left. And they took on Al Horford and stuff. But also at the same time, too, I feel like by saying Chris Paul is number 1, I feel like it's kind of disrespectful towards, like, what the Phoenix Suns were already becoming before Chris Paul was here, man. Like, 8-0 in the bubble, that's all I'm going to say. Like, they were already looking pretty damn impressive. But, okay. Yeah, sure, why not, man?
11 straight winning seasons. Now, that wouldn't be impressive if you played for, like, a well-coached team. No, that's with the Hornets, Suns,
bro, disrespectful,
tanking
man.
Thunder, Clippers, Rockets, 11 straight winning years. By the way, the Suns have the second best record in the NBA. Now, do you understand, for 11 years, in a sport where almost everybody makes the playoffs, they were a tire fire. Phoenix was miles out of the playoffs. By the way, last year, Oklahoma City wanted to tank. Chris Paul got a 4 or 5 seed in the West.
Right.
He leaves. Now they're on an 11-game losing streak. Next to LeBron James, nobody in the NBA has the ability to change your basketball team's win-loss standings.
Yeah, I was hearing that. I was hearing that they were saying I've already said this before, that Chris Paul should do like a kitchen nightmares, like what Gordon Ramsay does, where he goes around and like fixes like all these different, like kitchens and stuff. It's stuff he's doing with basketball teams. Like, oh, you like rank Chris Paul for a season, man. He'll get you to the playoffs and stuff. So, okay, I will say that I agree with his list based off of his definition of MVP award, but unfortunately, that's just not how people really view it. Chris Paul's not going to win it, unfortunately. But okay, fair enough, man. What do y'all think about his list? How did it compare to your top five? My top five, he didn't even mention Embiid at all or Harden, so a little surprised by that. But that's all we got, man. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.